If these walls could talk, what story could they tell? They may not have a voice, but markings left behind from civilizations lost long ago give us a clue to just how long these radiating red rocks have supported life. But I don't want to just read about the history featuring these spectacular views. I want to feel it, so join me in my quest to visit for the first time Capitol Reef National Park.
I never know how to feel about this scenery because some days I drive down it and it just looks ugly to me, but some days it's kind of pretty in its own way. Wow, what a great view of the LaSalle Mountains that's right next to Arches National Park and Moab, but we're not going to be taking that turn off. We're going to be continuing a little bit more west. You might have heard of the term Big Five, which refers to Utah's 5 national parks. I've been to 4 of them, and today we're going to finally get to the last one so I could say I've done them all. All right, bathroom break. What the heck am I doing wrong? Can't resist snacks when I see them on the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
In a half mile, take exit 149.
I'm in the town of Hanksville right now, one of the final stops before you get to Lake Powell. And if you think of Hanksville, you think of this place, Stan's Burger Shack. Now what really sells me on these guys is their milkshakes. They're just amazing. So I don't even know if I'm going to get a burger. I'm thinking I might just stick with a shake. I got the Oreo brownie milkshake. I haven't tried this one before. Look at how it just levitates above the cup. That is a thick milkshake. Yep, just as good as I remember. You know, I haven't even made it to the park yet, and that just made the trip worth it. I love milkshakes. I'm only a couple miles out from the park right now, and so far it's looking very similar to Grand Junction. It reminds me a lot of the Book Cliffs. I'm not making too many pit stops on the side of the road for photos or videos right now, just because I want to make it through as much of the park as I can first, and then I can circle back around and figure out what takes priority since we do have limited daylight. We just passed a pretty cool cabin that I'd like to take a look at later. I just passed some petroglyphs that would be pretty cool to get a look at later. Wow, no doubt it's busy. I always get a pin every national park, so gotta get a pin here. So far, this view from the visitor center is my favorite so far. It's a lot more red in the rocks as opposed to the more tan that we were seeing on the way in. Okay, so I got a map, I got a pin, and I paid my entrance fee, which was only about 20 bucks. I know Arches is 30, so a little bit of a deal there. Now let's take a look at this map. So it's kind of an odd design, at least to me, where the visitor center is smacked out in the middle. And it looks like there's 3 ways to get in. There's this way over here, this bottom way, and this way here. We came in from this side. So I was thinking we might try to take this one first because we're already here at the visitor center. I've already seen this stuff. So I'm going to try to go down here. Okay, so I just made it to the end of the Grand Wash Trail, which is this dirt road that we're on. And it looks like Cassidy Arch is only a quarter mile from here, at least the trail is. So I think we're going to do a little bit of hiking. Ah, okay, I see. So it was 0.3 miles to the trail head. The actual trail itself is 1.5 miles for Cassidy Arch.
As I ascend the trail, which is in total about 3.5 miles long, I am pleasantly surprised to see just how in shape this trail is. While most of the time has been spent climbing 1,000 feet, steps within the path make it a lot easier. While I'm working my way through the bluffs, let me tell you a little bit about the history of this amazing place. Human life began in this canyon with wandering hunter-gatherers dating back to 7,000 BCE, surviving off the Fremont River and deer, bighorn sheep, and pronghorn. Latter-day Saint mission groups from Salt Lake City discovered the valley in the late 1800s, just after John Wesley Powell, the founder of Lake Powell, roughly 50 miles away, traversed across. In 1880, Nels Johnson and other settlers realized the heat reflected off the cliffs paired with the abundant streams could make for a perfect environment to nurture orchards full of apples, peaches, pears, and plums. President Roosevelt established 377 square miles of the area as a national monument on August 2nd of 1937, which then became a national park in 1970, a year before Arches National Park followed suit. The oldest national park in Utah is Zion, dating back to 1919.
Wow, finally, level ground. Oh, that Oreo brownie milkshake is starting to get me back here. I'm a little nauseous. I feel like I kind of jinxed myself when I said the trail was easy to find. I'm at the very last section of the trail, but you're on this giant red plateau and there's just no markings anywhere. I've walked around this plateau in a couple different directions thinking maybe I need to go over another hill, but not really seeing anything. So I went back to the last part of the marked trail that I'm on, and yeah, it gives me no extra clues because it's just pointing straight out into that rock plateau. I don't know. Well, I still got some good exercise in, but losing daylight, so I'm going to start heading back. really like these little grooves. This is cool. Okay, what I think happened is the arch itself is underneath where you're walking. So you're walking on top of the arch, but I'm thinking like a hike to the base of the arch like you do in Arches National Park. So maybe that's where I screwed up. I wasn't looking below me, I was trying to look up. I gotta say though, looking back at these mountains, as I'm walking down and that golden light starts coming out where the shadows are more dramatic as sunset starts to sink in, man, nothing else like it. Beautiful. It's a way better view up here than driving down in the canyon. So I don't know if I'm going to cover the whole park, but that's all right. I feel like I've seen quite a bit of it already. And once I get down to my car, it'll be that nice, perfect golden hour. So I'll work as fast as I can to use what light I have left when I'm back down there. I'm going to break the fourth wall really quick, just in case you're curious of what the camera setup looks like. For these little talking head videos, I'm just using my phone because it's quick and it's easy. The mic's decently good on it, and I'm not looking for 4K quality just to do these little behind-the-scene videos. But for all of the B-roll, even in this one, and for the B-roll and the A-roll in the more cinematic pieces I do, it's all this camera, which, yes, might be a little bit overkill for B-roll on the behind-the-scenes stuff, but it's totally worth it because, you know, I want my product to look good. Spent a lot of money on this camera, and I'd like to use it, even if it means I have to lug it up the top of a mountain like I just did. And just to show you the difference in image quality, here's sort of a little demo between the two with the bush. So this is with my phone using the 3x camera, and this is with my actual camera at 70 millimeters. Here's another example.
As I make my way back to the floor of the canyon, I realize I'm the only person in sight, and for the first time, I notice the blissful silence surrounding me. I just wanted to take a second and take it in. Whew, that was nice. Time to get moving.
Okay, finally made it back to the car. Alright, I have half an hour until official sunset. Wow, that is just spectacular with that sunset light. Okay, just made it past the visitor center. Now I'm driving back the way I came, and maybe I'll make some pit stops along the way.
In 1896, the one-room Fruita Schoolhouse started teaching students of all ages. Its flat, dirt-covered roof was traded in for the shingled one you see today in 1912, and the internal walls were plastered in the 1930s. For almost 30 years, until 1924, the school was also used for town hall meetings, dances, and other community events.
Well, you can't get too close to the petroglyphs, but they are pretty cool to see. Alright, it's getting pretty dark, so I think camera time's about done.
I'm so excited to say I've finally done Utah's Big 5
and I have the pins to prove it. It did take quite a bit of driving to get there though. From where I am, it was 3.5 hours each way, not to mention the driving that I did in the actual park itself, when it's a pretty big park. Speaking of the size of it, I'm a little bit disappointed I didn't see the whole park. That's also because I went in the afternoon. But at the same time, I'm not disappointed I didn't do it all in one day, just because it was so hot at the middle of the day and I didn't want to be hiking or driving around. Not to mention the lighting is just so harsh too, so I'm not going to get great photos or videos at that time of day. Doesn't mean it can't be done, just means it's a little bit easier to work with some afternoon and sunset lighting. One thing that sucks about all national parks is you can't fly drones, but with the expense of a little bit of sweat, I was able to get up to the top of that canyon so I could look down and get the bird's eye view that a drone would. So I was happy at the end of the day with that. So where does it rank in the big five for me? I've got to be honest, it actually does fall closer to the bottom, but I think that's also just because I have so much emotional connections with a couple of the other parks, specifically Arches. I was raised growing up there, so every single time I go into that park, it's just a flood of memories that I don't have to connect with Capitol Reef since it's my first time there. But I'm still very happy I went. It's well worth the gas. I'm very happy that I was able to bring you along for the adventure. Now, I was more focused on video and just exploring in general, so I wasn't taking too many photos, but I did get a couple bangers that I'd love to show you. Thanks for watching, and I guess the big question is, what's next now that I've done all the national parks? We'll find out.